Hey boys and girls, it's Nightstalker here. Welcome along today to a bit of a styly video about the weather effects in Conquerors Blade. So why am I doing a video about this? Well, I went a little while ago to find some information on the weather effects within the game and found that the information is very sparse, hard to find, and has really been put together anecdotally by the players. And there was a clan in Russia sort of 6 months or a year ago who did some actual testing on this as well. So I'm going to collate all the information I've got, and don't forget that this is actually really hard to pin down. There's no information anywhere in the game from the developers about what these weather effects actually are. So these had to be tested by individual players and clans, and it's a hard task, right? Because you've got to catch the right weather. It's a big problem. You have to go out into the world and either field each other out there, or keep queuing with your friends over and over again and hope you're on the opposite side, and then try and fight in a siege or a field battle. So it's really problematic to test. So what I really want you to remember, these things that we're going to talk about are approximations based on people's experience, anecdotal evidence, and the small amount of testing that's really able to be done on these as people sort of try to understand these effects. So don't take it as gospel. It is an approximation, and it is people's best guess, really. And that's all I can bring you on this, unfortunately, because there's such a scarcity of information out there. Alright, Knight, shut up. Let's start talking about the actual weather effects. First one up on screen here is clear skies, fine weather, whatever you want to call it. Nice and sunny, and that has no negative or positive effects whatsoever on any of your units or your gameplay. So when you see that, you're not going to have any negative effects for taking certain troop choices. Next one we've got here is cloudy. Cloudy is not a serious effect. It's very similar to clear skies, really. It's got a slightly reduced visibility, as you can sort of see. It's a little bit, well, cloudy, and there is a slight decline in accuracy when attacking with ranged units in general, and it's only slight, and no one's been able to sort of quantify what that is to date that I can find. And again, if you find any information, or you have some positive information, you can link a website, anything like that, please put it in the comments down below for everybody to find out. We all learn together, and we're ape strong together. You can't see me right now, but I've got my two fists bumping each other. So we'll get this done together. Next one up is rain. It's raining. See the 4 raindrops? Now this one can really affect your troop choices at the start of the battle, because if you see this in the top right up there, you're going to have to consider whether or not you want to take muskets, because in rain like this, the musket reload speed is decreased. For the individual soldiers in the squad, it can reach up to a plus 40% loading time. So that is a really, really significant delay in them being able to deliver out their damage. So if you see rain, you're really going to have to consider that it may not be the best to bring muskets. Also, I have anecdotal evidence that it also may affect archers, and anecdotal evidence that it may not allow you to use things like fire archers and set units on fire. I can't clarify that, and I haven't been able to replicate it in a game. Please, if you know more information, down in the comments so everybody can learn. Next one over, we're looking at drizzle, and this is just light rain. Spitting, we call it here in New Zealand. See the 2 raindrops on the symbol? That means it's raining really lightly. Musket reload speed is increased for this one as well. For individual soldiers in the squad, it can reach up to 20 or 25% longer to reload their muskets. I can't seem to replicate any appreciable reduction in archers. Moving right along to haze. So the soldier overview, like your map, it's reduced by 40% to a half, and they will also, your units will attack things at a much closer range on auto attack. So that's ranged units will attack things when they have to get much closer for them to auto attack. And also there's about a 1/3 or 30% reduction in the accuracy of the auto attacks. That doesn't include things like arrow rain or placing the circle with your Namcan archers, things like that. Moving along. Next one I've got here is fog. Again, it's harder to see things on your map. The overall visibility is reduced slightly, about 20 to 30%, and that's the same with the auto attack range. When they get closer and closer, they have to get a little bit closer now, and the accuracy is reduced as well. This is Sandstorm. I couldn't actually find a video that had a sandstorm, and man, it can be really hard to try and deliberately create a sandstorm. You have to queue many times, let me tell you. So I've just found a random picture on the internet. That's not me. Again, your map and overview is reduced, and your auto attack range is reduced. You can still, again, tell them deliberately to attack. And also, you're going to have a 30% roughly, again, roughly, it's all rough and estimated, reduced accuracy with that auto attack as well. Moving along to Windy. So the accuracy of ranged units, particularly archers, from what I can tell, again, there's no stats. We're just trying to test this out with a big group of friends, and I'm relying on information from people who have collated it on Reddit and things like that. But it seems to be that archers, particularly, the accuracy is reduced by about 20 or 30% with their auto attack. And again, it seems to have less effect on their targeted skills. And here we go, just the last weather effect here, a very short video today, just to sort of impart some information to you, but it is of course snow. And the only effect that we can sort of seem to replicate, and it seems to be backed up by some of the old data that the Russian clan and things created, is that the unit movement speed is reduced by about 20%. So that is as good as we can give you information on the weather effects in Conquerors Blade, because there's just no data out there from the developers, and there's no information available within the game, although there are some references very rarely in patch notes and things like that. So we're just sort of trying to make a patchwork of information for people to sort of at least have a general understanding of how the weather will affect your troops in battle. Anyway, I hope you learned something new, or you just enjoyed these cool pictures. Thanks for coming to my channel.